For the longest time, I've had people call me Mommy Gio, pastor's wife. Oh, I pray you get married to a pastor. It's very, very interesting. And if you are that lady that people have called Mommy Gio or pastor's wife, this video is for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. My name is Divine Grace Oji. That's my government name, but yeah, you can call me Didi. And in this channel I create content on faith, lifestyle, personal development, all those good things. Today I'm coming for my girlies. Been called Mommy Gio or pastor's wife just because you take God seriously, love to go to church, you love to engage in kingdom activities. Now here's something I've noticed: people don't say this to everyone, and why may be a joke to some people. I've heard some ladies respond to things like, God forbid, I can never marry a pastor. Can I be honest? Sometimes that response reveals a lack of surrender. I'm not saying everyone is called to marry a pastor, not at all. In fact, not everyone is going to marry a pastor. But if God called you to that assignment and you said, oh no, I can never marry a pastor, you can never marry a pastor, that is a question to if you are truly surrendered to God's will. There's something called the perfect will of God, and there's something called the permissive will of God, and this can also play role in, like, this can also show itself in marriage. Some people end up marrying God's permissive will and not his perfect will. And my desire for every lady, everyone watching this, and myself, is that we end up getting married in God's perfect will. Our lives as Christians is supposed to be fully yielded to God. Wherever he leads, we follow. Let me be clear before someone starts thinking otherwise. This video is not to convince you to become a pastor's wife. It's perfectly okay if you do not want to marry a pastor. It's also okay if God called you into a ministry to be a pastor. But that's not the point. That's honestly not the point of this video. The point of this video is that every believer has been called to a ministry. And when I say ministry, I'm not just saying staying on the pulpit and holding a microphone. I once heard a sermon from one of the female pastors I admire, and she said something I consider very profound. She said, your pulpit is where you pull people out of the pit. And that completely changed my perspective. Your pulpit can be your workplace, it could be your classroom, it could be in your business, it could be your social media platform, it could be in your home. As long as God is using you to point people to Christ, that's a ministry you're fulfilling there. So the conversation is bigger than being a pastor's wife. It's about being a genuine child of God who is willing to say, Lord, wherever you send me, I will go. It's also for the guys, the ones who watch this. If you're passionate about God and you decided to put a limit on what you're willing to do for him, maybe it's time to go back to him in prayer and ask him honestly, Lord, what do you actually want for my life? What do you want for my life? Don't make decisions based on what people labeled you. There are some people who are standing on the pulpit today, that's the church pulpit, and that's not where God wants them to be. And people are saying, oh, because you pray so much, this brother is so serious, he is a pastor. But that is not maybe what God has called you to do. And because people have labeled you that, you are not saying, okay, I will be this thing because they said so. It's good if God is leading you in that place and you go there. But if God is not leading you there, or is calling you to something different, go there, do his will. Just be sure that what I'm doing is in line with God's will for my life. Just because somebody is calling you a pastor's wife doesn't mean you have to marry a pastor. And on the other hand, don't reject someone simply because they're a pastor, because somebody has been teasing you with that title. Let God be the one that writes your story. Who knows, you may be looking at me today and thinking, oh, Divine is going to be a pastor's wife. Well, I may be a pilot's wife, I may be a lawyer's wife, I may be a doctor's wife. I may even be an entrepreneur's wife, just like myself. Who knows? What I don't know is that whatever God's plan for my life is, I am willing to be surrendered to it. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to become a pastor's wife, like I've said. It's not to become a pastor's wife. You people in my Facebook comment section calling me pastor's wife, I'm seeing you guys, and I hope you guys are watching this video. So the goal is not to become a pastor's wife. The goal is to become everything that God has called you to be. Okay? and it speaks to you, you that have been thinking you cannot marry a pastor. God is looking at you and is going to do something that will shock you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you found it valuable, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, watch other previous videos on this channel, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Also, share your thoughts in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Bye.